All right, guys, we made it. It is time for my final Chicago Bears mock draft of the 2025 cycle. This is our 15th mock, not quite the 25 we did last year, but still quite a bit. And we're going to get into it here in just a second. But this is a reminder of what the Bears have in draft capital heading into this draft. 7 picks in total. I added the points per pick valuation recently to this graphic as well, based on the Rich Hill model. Every team has their own kind of point system, but this kind of gives you a rough idea of what each point is worth, when it comes to trades and stuff like that. All right, before we find out what I had the Bears doing in round one, make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications. If you see this photo on your YouTube feed, you're like, oh, that's the right place to be. That is where myself and producer Colin will be live, breaking all this down starting on Thursday night, 5 o'clock Central, 2 hours before the draft begins. We're going to be live for a hot minute. It's going to be a lot of fun. So subscribe and join us. Can't wait to see you there. Okay, trade alert. In these final mocks, I don't often like to do trades, but I do think there is a pretty good chance that the Bears are at least going to try to trade up and go get Ashton Jeanty. This is the trade I've thrown out there all week. You swap 5 and 10. You send 41 over to the Jags, an early second-round pick. You get a fourth-round pick back in return. I think in this draft, you're not going to have to pay a mega premium to trade up. Jordan Schultz reported that a lot of trade-up offers right now are 70 cents on the dollar. This is basically an even trade based on the draft valuation chart, so I think it would be fair. I really, really do. And then the Bears go and get their guy, Ashton Jeanty, because a lot of people believe that the top 4 is set, with Cam Ward going to Tennessee, Travis Hunter going to Cleveland, the Giants taking Abdul Carter, and Will Campbell going to the Patriots. So if you want to get Ashton Jeanty, it seems like that 5 slot is the place to go. Now, the Jags apparently are very open to drafting Jeanty now. So would they take a trade? I'm not sure, but I do think there's a real chance that this happens. I feel very confident in saying that the Bears are working the phones to try and move up. I do think they want to go get this guy. Now, whether or not it happens, who knows? It would be on draft night. I don't think you're going to see a pre-draft trade to move up to number 5, just because you never know what could happen, right? New England could shock us and take Jeanty at 4, and if that was the guy they were trading up for, then you're kind of SOL, shit out of luck. But I do think that possibility is there to trade up on draft night. As far as the draft value chart goes, the Bears would be sending 515 points worth of picks, and the Jags would be sending back 499. So again, you're giving a slight premium to Jacksonville, but normally to move up from 10 to 5, you would have to pay a lot more, because typically that would be for like a quarterback or something like that. For a running back, kind of a flat rate charge there. And look, we've broken down the player a million times, but I just like what he brings to the table. The contact balance is excellent. He's got excellent quickness, good vision, good patience. He can run away from guys. He can bounce off tacklers. The character is off the charts. He's considered one of the cleanest character prospects in this draft. We know Ryan Poles values that. He's going to bring a lot to a locker room in terms of fitting in and overall mentality. So I think Ashton Jeanty is worth it. I'm not saying trade a future first-round pick or anything like that, but send a 2. You got an extra 2. Get a 4 back. You don't have a 4. I kind of like that too. It kind of evens out when you're picking in each round. So if you want a premium player, you may not get one at 10, so go trade up and get one. Will the Bears get Ashton Jeanty, whether it's at 5, 10, or somewhere else? Type Y for yes, they will. Type N for no, they will not. I feel like there is a pretty decent chance they will, which is why I'm mocking him to the Bears at number 5. Okay, this is my only other trade in this mock. Again, on the final mock, I don't like doing a lot of trades. You're just kind of guessing, but the Jags thing, there's some legs to it. And I do think if they traded up, they would try to do some kind of trade back, either in the second or third round. So move back 3 spots. This is a trade offer made to me in the simulator. Pick up a extra fifth round pick. Okay, I'm cool with that. And then you get Jeanty Tuimoloau, the edge out of Ohio State, a guy we've mocked to Chicago in this second round range 3 or 4 times over our 15 mocks. I just think he checks a lot of the boxes of what the Bears typically look for, and especially what Dennis Allen would be looking for. I thought he had kind of put it all together in his senior season at Ohio State. He could have easily come out last year and been a second or third round pick, went back, had a monster playoff run with 6.5 of his sacks in that 4-game playoff run, leader for the Buckeyes. He's an excellent run defender. So he brings that to the table right away. He flashes as a pass rusher. It's still inconsistent, but he's kind of what I'd call like a streaky shooter in the NBA. Like some games, it's like, wow, he looks dominant. And then others, you don't notice him as much as a pass rusher. So you'd like to see him become more consistent, add a little more to his pass rush arsenal. And he checks the Dennis Allen mold. 6'4", 270, almost 34-inch arms. So he can drive the pocket with that body build. So I think he fits in what the Bears normally like. He fits in what Dennis Allen likes. I think he could even kick inside every once in a while, although I don't think you would need him to do that because you have so many versatile interior guys on this roster. And I think in this draft, I like the options in the second round. Look, the Abdul Carters, the Mike Greens, they're a little bit more talented, but I think once you get beyond the first 2 or 3 guys, the difference between the 4th edge and like the 9th edge probably isn't that great. So you could get a guy like JTT in round 2 and feel pretty good about at least having a good contributor. Okay, round 3, pick number 72, Kevin Winston Jr., a first-round talent based on his 2023 tape and overall production. And then, of course, this past year, only played in 2 games. He partially tore his ACL, but he's back and healthy. He's been working out. He did the pre-draft workouts and drills for the most part, and he's a pretty explosive athlete. I mean, running a 4.51 6 months removed from a partially torn ACL, pretty impressive. So you would figure he's a sub 4.5 guy when 100% healthy. These are his 2023 numbers. 6 breakups, 1 interception. He's excellent in run support. And here's a fun PFF stat. He was the only safety in college football in 2023 to post an 85-plus pass defense grade and run defense grade. Only one in college football as a coverage safety and as a run support safety. So that's pretty appealing to me. And yeah, coming off that injury, there's going to be some rust, but this could be the ideal scenario. If Kevin Byard, who's known for staying healthy, but last year of his deal, if he can have a healthy season, and if Brisker can have a mostly healthy year, he's obviously had injury concerns, bring Winston in, ease him into the system. He can be your third guy. Then if you need to play him, great. But if not, he can take over as a starter in 2026 as both Brisker and Byard are set to be free agents. All right, we have more draft picks to come in this 7-round mock. But before we do so, got to tell you about our sponsor, Game Time, the official ticketing partner of Bears Now by Chat Sports. Baseball's in full swing. If you want to go check out the Cubbies or the White Sox, be sure to get your tickets with Game Time. Little 2-game set the Cubs have had with the Dodgers this week. They also have the Phillies coming to town this weekend, so an opportunity to see some high-level baseball. I'll tell you what, too, the Cubs, they're entertaining every night. They'll take a lead. They'll give the game away. They'll come back. It's electric. So if nothing else, if you want to be entertained, go check them out. White Sox tickets available as well. Game Time makes getting tickets faster and easier, even for those hard-to-get, like NBA playoff seats. If you want to go check out Bucks Pacers, that's in just a couple hours away, obviously, as well. Prices on Game Time, it can actually go down closer you get to tip-off or first pitch. Often you can find tickets at a reduced price on the day of the event, even just hours or minutes before it starts. With killer last-minute deals, all-in prices, views from the seats, and their lowest price guaranteed, Game Time takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Save up to 60% off by buying last-minute tickets for sports, concerts, comedy, theater, etc. Download the Game Time app today. Use code CHATSPORTS, all one word, CHATSPORTS, for $20 off your first purchase only. Terms apply. That's code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download the Game Time app today. Last-minute tickets, lowest prices, guaranteed. Been using them for a couple of years now and have never had a bad experience. Okay, with that 4th-round pick we get back from Jacksonville, haven't added that left tackle competition that Ryan Poles has alluded to multiple times this offseason. How about Anthony Belton, the offensive tackle out of NC State? I'm not sure he slips to day 3, but he's a little raw. You know, his foot speed is kind of average, so maybe he's someone who potentially could slide, but massive tackle. 6'6", 6'7", about 335. He is a really, really big guy. He's more polished as a pass blocker right now. In the run game, he doesn't move extraordinarily well, so, you know, he's a little clunky there, but you see the upside. Now, the technique has some growing to do. Ideally, you wouldn't play him as a rookie. Like, throw him into that competition, even give him some first-team reps early this offseason while Braxton Jones is still recovering from that injury. But, in a perfect world, he's a backup that has long-term starting potential. But do you think he could enter the competition? He's probably like the last guy among the tackles in this draft that you could take and be like, okay, I could see him competing and potentially winning a job over there, depending on how Braxton's status is and Karan Amagaji's development. I think they'll add a tackle at some point. The way this mock worked, don't get one until the 4th. Okay, round 5, pick 148. One of my favorite picks in this range that we've done a few times. Mitchell Evans, the tight end out of Notre Dame. I just think he's solid. He's not a special athlete. He's not a special blocker. He's not super fluid, but he's just kind of solid at everything. Not great at anything, but solid at everything. And to me, you find that in the 4th, 5th round. I'm here for it. I thought he had a couple of big-time plays in the college football playoff. I remember Riley Leonard hit him on a nice little back shoulder on the outside as they kind of isolated him on a smaller cornerback, and he gave some yards after the catch. So he's sneaky athletic with the ball in his hands. Not to just play the Notre Dame comp, but he kind of is just a poor man's Cole Kmet to me, where he's not going to wow you with anything he does, but he's just well-rounded. Now, he does not have the athletic profile of a Cole Kmet. Cole is bigger, stronger, came into the league more polished, so I don't think he's reaching that. But can he be a tight end too in this league long-term? I think he can, and I do think the Bears need to add a tight end at some point. And if you don't get one earlier in the draft, maybe add one on day 3 and maybe sign someone after. But a guy like Mitchell Evans, bring him in here, have him be your tight end 3 as a rookie with Smythe as the 2, and then long-term he could be your number 2 guy. Okay, Dante Thornton Jr. with that extra 5th-round pick we picked up, moving down a few spots in the 2nd round. Look, he's not going to run the full route tree. The Tennessee receivers never do. It's like screens, curls, and goes. But he is absolutely blazing fast. 25 yards per catch. That Tennessee offense, they kind of generate those big plays down the field. I get it. We're all like, oh, what about Jalen Hyde a few years ago? Well, it's round 5. And you know what you can't teach? You can't teach 6'5", 4.3 flat speed. I'm not asking this guy to come in and develop into being a technician, but could he be a guy that runs 10 go routes a game, maybe throw him a couple quick screens, see if he can bust one? He's got really, really good speed that you can't teach at that size. So I'm willing to take a swing on a guy like this on day 3, see if he hits. Again, I don't think he's ever fully developing into being some kind of full-time starter, but could he be like a long-term number 4 receiver with that size-speed combo? I think that's at least a possibility. Then a couple of 7th-round picks. Nick Martin, the Bears actually brought him in for a top 30 visit. He's viewed as a day 3 linebacker, athletic player. I think the Bears kind of tipped their hand when they let Jack Sanborn go. They want to get more athletic at that 3rd linebacker spot. Martin could provide that, come in, compete for that role with Noah Sewell and Eamon Agbogbamiga. And then just kind of a fun pick. Why not? Desmond Watson has a chance to be the heaviest player drafted in NFL history. He measured in at his pro day 6'6", 464. Now, let's be clear. He cannot play in the NFL at that weight. It just will not work. But when you're that heavy, can you get him down to 400 pounds? This would be a guy that you view as a practice squad player. You take him in the 7th so he doesn't hit undrafted free agency, because I think teams would be intrigued. Could he be a developmental defensive tackle, fullback guy, on the goal line? You just have him lead block for your running back? I don't know. I would say chances of him actually becoming something are very slim, but it's the 240th pick in the draft. Get him in there. You have him on your practice squad unless he shocks you and makes the team. Get him into an NFL nutrition program. You never know what could happen. That size, weight, he's pretty athletic for his size as well. Ran a sub 640 at almost 500 pounds. Kid can move a little bit. I'm pretty intrigued by him late in the draft, or certainly as an undrafted free agent. All right, just to recap, here is my Bears final mock draft. I do trade up for Ashton Jeanty. I think there's at least a decent chance that happens. JT Tuimoloau in the 2nd round after a minor trade down with the Jets. Kevin Winston Jr., high upside safety in the 3rd round. The Bears need a safety. Anthony Belton gives you a little offensive tackle, left tackle competition there. You get Mitchell Evans, the Notre Dame tight end, in round 5. Come back at Dante Thornton as well with that additional 5th we picked up. And then Nick Martin, Desmond Watson round things out in the 7th round. So there you have it. We'll see if I hit on any of my picks this year. Grade my final Bears mock draft. A, B, C, D, or F. Let me know how we did down in the comment section below. And Gear up, guys. We're here. We made it. The draft is upon us. You might even be watching this on draft day, so be sure to join us Thursday night, 5 o'clock Central Time. Myself, producer Colin, are ready to rock and roll, and we will find out what the Bears do in the first round. So hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you then.